Hello everyone, welcome to MAYANK LAWHOLIC. So in this video we will discuss Article 21, that is protection of life and liberty. This is a furtherance video of the constitutional law case laws related MCQs. In this video we will cover almost every case related to Article 21 protection of life and liberty, because majorly the questions asked in the exams are from Article 21 or somewhere or the other related to Article 21. So let's start with question number 1. Which of the following case is known as fundamental rights case? Options are A. ADM Jabalpur case, B. Keshwananda Bharti case, C. Golaknath case, and D. Maneka Gandhi case. B. Keshwananda Bharti case. Question number 2. In which of the following cases it was held by the Supreme Court that right to trade on pavements is fundamental right? A. Sukumar Mukherjee versus State of West Bengal, B. Fertilizer Corporation Workers Union, Sindri versus Union of India, C. P.A. Inamdar versus State of Maharashtra, and D. Sodan Singh versus New Delhi Municipal Committee. The answer is D. Sodan Singh versus New Delhi Municipal Committee. Question number 3. The scope of expression procedure established by law occurring in Article 21 was expanded in the case A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras, B. Chiranjit Lal Chaudhary versus Union of India, C. K.A. Abbas versus Union of India, and D. Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. The answer is Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. Question number 4. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court of India has observed sexual harassment in the workplace as a violative of human rights? The answer is A. Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan. Question number 5. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court of India has recognized transgender persons to be the third gender? A. National Legal Services Authority versus Union of India, B. Nalsa University Hyderabad versus Union of India, C. State of Legal Services Authorities versus Union of India, and D. Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus NAS Foundation. The answer is A. Legal Services Authority versus Union of India. Question number 6. In which of the following decision the Supreme Court of India has issued 16 guidelines regarding the investigation of any encounter death? A. Tulsiram Prajapati's case, B. Sorubuddin Sheikh's case, C. PUCL versus State of Maharashtra, and D. Vijay Shankar Pandey's case. The answer is C. PUCL versus State of Maharashtra. Question number 7. In which of the following cases the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court has by a 4:1 majority held that review petitions relating to capital punishment shall be heard in open court? A. Manoj Narula versus Union of India, B. Muhammad Arif versus Registrar Supreme Court, C. Nalini versus Union of India, D. Lily Thomas versus Union of India. The answer is B. Muhammad Arif versus Registrar Supreme Court. Question number 8. Which of the following judgments relates to prohibition against causing pollution and discomfort to the public due to smoking at public places? Answer is B. Murli S. Diora versus Union of India, AIR 2002. Question number 9. Justice Case Puttaswamy versus Union of India 2017 was decided by A bench of 9 justices, that is a 9-judge bench. Case Puttaswamy judgment related to right to privacy. Question number 10. In which of the following cases majority judgment of the Supreme Court held that Aadhar not only gave them the unique identity, also a life dignity? It was held in A. Justice Case Puttaswamy versus Union of India. Question number 11. In which case the Supreme Court has observed that social morality also changes from age to age? Option A. Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India, B. Nalsa versus Union of India, C. A.K. Karaipak versus Union of India, D. A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras. The answer is Nalsa versus Union of India. Question number 12. A law which disqualifies a person with more than 2 children from holding the post of Panch or Sarpanch is valid and not violative of Article 14 of Constitution. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court gave such a decision? A. PUCL versus Union of India, B. Javed versus State of Haryana, C. Indira Jaisingh versus Registrar General, and D. Muhammad Aslam versus Union of India. The answer is B. Javed versus State of Haryana. Question number 13. In Shreya Singhal versus Union of India 2015, the Supreme Court struck down Section 66A Information Technology Act 2000 in its entirety for violating Article 19(1)A and not being saved by Article 19 Clause 2. This is the right answer. So the correct answer is option A. Question number 14. Which of the following cases relates to anti-strike verdict? A. T.K. Rangarajan versus Government of Tamil Nadu. B. People's Union for Civilian Liberties versus Union of India. C. L. Chandrakumar versus Union of India. D. Communist Party of India versus Bharat Kumar. The answer is A. T.K. Rangarajan versus Government of Tamil Nadu. Question number 15. In which of the following cases constitutionality of Section 27 of Indian Evidence Act was challenged for violation of Article 20 Clause 3 of the Constitution? A. State of Bombay versus Katikalu. B. Mirza Akbar versus King Emperor. C. State of UP versus Dioman Upadhyay. And D. Queen Emperor versus Abdullah. The answer is State of Bombay versus Katikalu. Question number 16. In which case the Supreme Court of India held that polygraph test conducted under the compulsion is violative of Article 20 Clause 3 of the Constitution? In A. Selvi versus State of Karnataka 2010. Question number 17. As per the decision of the Supreme Court of India in the case of Selvi versus State of Karnataka, compulsory use of narco-analysis test, brain mapping and polygraph test violates option A. Article 20 Clause 3 of the Constitution. Question number 18. The provisions of the Clause 3 of Article 20 Clause 3 of Constitution of India is not applicable to investigational proceeding. This law primarily comes from the judgment of the Supreme Court in which of the following cases? Option A. Kedarnath Bajoria versus State of West Bengal. B. Katikalu versus State of Saurashtra. C. Kati Ranning versus State of Saurashtra. Rattan Lal versus State of Punjab. The answer to this question is B. Katikalu Ugad versus State of Saurashtra. Question number 19. The case of Unnikrishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh deals with which of the following rights? A. Right to go abroad. B. Right to education. C. Right to privacy. D. Right to an environment free from pollution. The answer is B. Right to education. Question number 20. The Supreme Court has upheld following right in Union of India versus Naveen Jindal. The answer is right to hoist the national flag. Question number 21. In which of the following cases it was held that the matrimonial rights are not violative of Article 14 and Article 21 of the Constitution? The answer is C. Saroj versus Sudarshan. Question number 22. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court held that strike by lawyers is illegal and unethical and it infringes fundamental rights of litigants for speedy trial? The answers are A. Dr. B.L. Vadhera versus NCT of Delhi. B. Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. C. Harish Uppal versus Union of India. D. Indira Swane versus Union of India. The answer is Harish Uppal versus Union of India. Question number 23. In which of the following cases it was held by the Supreme Court that right to trade on pavements is a fundamental right? It was held in the case of Sodan Singh versus New Delhi Municipal Committee. Question number 4. Right to life does not include right to die was held in the case of D. Srimati Gyan Kaur versus State of Punjab. Question number 25. The Supreme Court of India held that the right to life includes the right to enjoy unpolluted air and water was made in one of the following cases? A. Francis Corelli versus Administrator Union Territory of Delhi. B. Rural Litigation and Entitlement Kendra Dehradun versus State of Uttar Pradesh. C. S. Jagannath versus Union of India. D. Suresh Kumar versus State of Bihar. The answer is B. Rural Litigation and Entitlement Kendra Dehradun versus State of Uttar Pradesh. Question number 26. After this case, Article 21 now protects the right of life and personal liberty of citizens not only from executive action but also from legislative action. It was held in the case of Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. Question number 27. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court held that right to sleep is a fundamental right? Answer is B. In Re Ramlila Maidan case. Question number 28. In the famous case of Nas Foundation versus Government of NCT Delhi, the section of the Indian Penal Code whose constitutional validity was challenged is A. Section 377. Question number 29. In which of the following case the Supreme Court struck down Section 66A of IT Act 2000? The answer is C. Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. Question number 30. In which of the following case Supreme Court called Article 22 of the Constitution as ugly provision of the Constitution? The answer is D. A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras. Question number 31. In which of the following cases the right to education was held to be concomitant to fundamental rights enshrined under Part 3 of the Constitution? Answer is D. Mohini Jain versus State of Karnataka. Question number 32. According to the decision of B. Emmanuel versus State of Kerala, what is the imperative to show the requisite respect to the national anthem? The answer is C. To stand respectfully. Question number 33. In which of the following case it was ruled that the government servant has no right to go on a strike? Option is A. T.R. Rangarajan versus State of Tamil Nadu, B. Javed versus State of Haryana, C. Shyam Narayan Chowsky versus Union of India, D. Chehat versus Union of India. The answer is A. T.R. Rangarajan versus State of Tamil Nadu. Question number 34. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court directed the government to implement the law against female feticide with full determination? The answer is C. Chehat versus Union of India. Question number 35. Indian National Anthem is a reflection of the real India as a country, a coincidence of many religious, races, communities and geographical entitles. It is a message of unity in diversity. The above phrase of the Supreme Court was taken from which of the following judgment? A. Sanjeev Bhatnagar versus Union of India, B. Union of India versus Naveen Jindal, C. Sushant Tagore versus Union of India, D. Aruna Roy versus Union of India. The answer is A. Sanjeev Bhatnagar versus Union of India. Question number 36. In which decision of the Supreme Court has dealt with the right of a prisoner to a speedy trial and legal aid? Answer is C. Husainara Khatun versus Home Secretary, State of Bihar. Question number 37. In which of the following cases court held that allowing medical examination of women to prove her virginity amounts to violation of her right to privacy guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution? It was held in B. Surjit Singh Thin versus Kanwaljit Kaur. Question number 38. Decision in D.K. Basu's case relates to D. Arrest. Question number 39. In Maneka Gandhi's case, the Supreme Court held that the procedure established by law must be just, fair and reasonable. Question number 40. In which case the Supreme Court of India held that the voters have a right to know the antecedents of contesting candidates? Options are A. Shakila Abdul Ghafoor versus Vasant Doble, B. Shyam Narayan Chowsky versus Union of India, C. Union of India versus Association of Democratic Reform, D. Saurabh Chaudhary versus Union of India. The answer is C. Union of India versus Association for Democratic Reform. Question number 41. The Supreme Court of India, while holding right to marriage a right protected under Article 21 of Constitution, directed the police and administration not to harass or subject to act of threat or violence those who marry outside their caste or religion. It was held in the case A. Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, B. Ashok Kumar versus State of West Bengal, C. PUCL versus Union of India, D. Priyanka versus State of MP. The answer is Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh. Question number 42. In which case the Supreme Court of India held that there is no reason to compel non-smokers to be helpless victims of air pollution? The answer was Murli S. Diora versus Union of India. Question number 43. Article 21 of the Constitution of India incorporates the right to doctor's assistance. In which of the following case this was decided? In Parmanand Khatra versus Union of India. Question number 44. A citizen has a fundamental right to use the best means of imparting and receiving information, and as such to have an access to telecasting for the purposes, is the observation of the Supreme Court in A. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India versus Cricket Association of Bengal, B. Prabhu Datta versus Union of India, C. Dinesh Trivedi versus Union of India, D. Pramati Educational and Cultural Trust versus Union of India. The correct answer is option A. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India versus Cricket Association of Bengal, 1995. Question number 45. The constitutional protection in Article 21, which protects the right of a person for fair trial, is in law a valid restriction operating on the right to free speech under Article 19(1)(a) by virtue of force of it being constitutional provision. In which of the following cases the aforesaid observation was made by Supreme Court? A. Sahara India Real Estate versus Securities and Exchange Board of India. B. Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. Dr. Subramaniam Swamy versus Dr. Manmohan Singh. D. PUCL versus Union of India. The answer is A. Sahara versus SEBI. Question number 46. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court established the relationship between Article 14, 19 and 21 of the Constitution? Answer is C. Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. Article 14, 19 and 21 is also called as the golden triangle of the Constitution. Question number 47. The right against self-incrimination under Article 20 Clause 3 and Section 161 Clause 2 of CRPC was recognized by the Supreme Court in the case of C. Nandini Shatpathy versus P.L. Dani. Question number 48. In which recent case the Supreme Court held that the transgenders fall in category of socially and educationally backward classes, SEBs? Answer is A. Nalsa versus Union of India. Question number 49. In which of the following observation was not made by the court through Justice J.S. Verma as he was then in Nilabati Behra versus State of Orissa? Option: the award of compensation in the proceeding under Article 32 or Article 226 is a remedy available in public law. B. The remedy is based on strict liability for contravention of fundamental rights. C. The doctrine of sovereign immunity is not applicable in case of violation of fundamental rights. And D. The compensation payable shall be ex gratia. The option is C. The doctrine of sovereign immunity is not applicable in case of violation of fundamental rights. Question number 50. In which of case Supreme Court held that the mental privacy is part of Article 21 of the Constitution? The answer is A. Selvi versus State of Karnataka, 2010. Question number 51. Which of the following judgment of the Supreme Court is related to rights of third gender? A. National Legal Services Authority versus Union of India, 2014. Question number 52. In which case the Supreme Court observed that there is no fundamental right to strike? We have seen this question already. The answer is C. T.K. Rangarajan versus State of Tamil Nadu, 2003. Question number 53. In which of the following cases did the Supreme Court overrule the judgment of the Delhi High Court and declared the Section 377 of IPC is not unconstitutional? Options: A. Nas Foundation versus Government of NCT Delhi. B. Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Nas Foundation. C. Nas Foundation versus Union of India. D. Nas Foundation versus Rattan Lal and others. The option is B. Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Nas Foundation and others. Question number 54. In which case directions for improvement of conditions of inmates of homes for mentally ill person under the Person with Disabilities Act 1955 as well as psychiatric hospitals and nursing homes under Mental Health Act 1987 were issued by Supreme Court of India? Option A. Sheila Barse versus Union of India. B. Reena Banerjee versus Government Entity of Delhi. C. Neeraja Chaudhary versus State. D. PUDR versus Union of India. The answer is B. Reena Banerjee versus Government Entity of Delhi. Question number 55. In which case the Supreme Court of India held that all prostitutes and sex workers also have a right to live with human dignity under Article 21? The option is B. Buddhadev Karmaskar versus State of West Bengal, 2011. Question number 56. In which case the Supreme Court of India issued guidelines for preventing custodial violence? A. Parmanand Khatra versus Union of India. B. Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. C. PUCL versus Union of India. And D. D.K. Basu versus State of West Bengal. The correct answer is D.K. Basu versus State of West Bengal. Question number 57. In that the Supreme Court held that women can be arrested by the police at any time and even in absence of lady constable if the arresting officer records the proper reason for such arrest. The option is A. State of Maharashtra versus Christian Community Welfare Council of India. B. Jaya Singh versus State of Karnataka. C. Aruna Roy versus State of UP. D. State of Gujarat versus Priya Pillai. The answer is A. State of Maharashtra versus Christian Community Welfare Council of India. Question number 58. Selvi versus State of Karnataka 2010 is the case related to right against self-incrimination. 59. Which of the following judgments was not overruled by the judgment in case Puttaswamy versus Union of India 2017? A. MP Sharma versus Satish Chandra. B. Kharak Singh versus State of UP. C. ADM Jabalpur versus Shivkant Shukla. D. Govind versus State of MP. The answer is D. Govind versus State of MP 1975. Question number 60. In which of the following decisions the Supreme Court framed guideline for safeguarding the interest of the death row convicts? A. Shatrughan Chauhan versus Union of India. B. Ipuru Sudhakar versus Government of AP. C. People's Union for Civil Liberties versus State of Maharashtra. D. Sunil Batra versus Delhi Administration. The correct answer is A. Shatrughan Chauhan versus Union of India 2013. Question number 61. Which of the following were relevant considerations for prohibition of sale of liquor along national and state highways in state of Tamil Nadu versus K. Balu 2017? 1. There is no fundamental right under Article 19(1)(g) to trade in liquor. 2. Under Article 47, the state is under duty to raise the level of nutrition, standard of living and improve public health. 3. An exception to permit the sale of liquor along to stretch of the highway which passes through the limits of city is arbitrary and violative of Article 14. 4. Right to life under Article 21 signifies a right to live with human dignity free of noxious substances and intoxicants. The correct answer is 1, 2 and 4. Question number 62. Which of the following reasons led to the setting aside of the practice of talaq-biddat triple talaq in Shayara Bano versus Union of India 2017? First, Section 2 of the Muslim Personal Law Shariat Application Act 1937 was a pre-constitutional legislation within the meaning of Article 13 Clause 1 and violative of Article 14 of the Constitution of India on the ground of arbitrariness. 2. Section 2 of the Muslim Personal Law Shariat was a pre-constitutional legislation within the meaning of Article 13 Clause 1 and violative of Article 15 of the Constitution of India being discriminatory. 3. Muslim Personal Law Shariat Application Act 1937 is not a law regulating triple talaq, but the practice of triple talaq was against the basic tenets of the Holy Quran and no practice against the tenets of Quran was permissible. 4. Talaq-biddat is integral to religious denomination, but the Supreme Court may inject this practice as a means for severing matrimonial relationships. The correct answer to this question is option 1 and 3 only are correct. Question number 63. In which of the following cases Supreme Court issued detailed direction for protection of Good Samaritans? The Save Life Foundation versus Union of India 2016. Question number 64. Right to life includes right to reputation was recognized in. The correct answer is C. Dr. Subramaniam Swamy versus Union of India 2016. Question number 65. Which among the following was the first case before the Supreme Court of India where the constitutionality of death penalty was challenged? Option A. Rajendra Prasad versus State of UP. B. Jagmohan Singh versus your State of UP. C. Bachchan Singh versus State of Punjab. And D. Machi Singh versus State of Punjab. The answer is B. Jagmohan Singh versus State of UP. Question number 66. In dash, the Supreme Court observed that what is practiced in our prisons is the theory of retribution and deterrence, and the ground situation emphasizes this, while our criminal justice system believes in reformation and rehabilitation, and this is why handcuffing and solitary confinement are prohibited. It is this rejection of the philosophy of our criminal justice system that leads to violence in prisons and eventually unnatural deaths. The Supreme Court highlighted the need for an overhaul in order to ameliorate the conditions of prisoners across the country and thereby reduce the number of unnatural deaths. Option A. Inhuman conditions in 1382 prisons. B. Sunil Batra versus Delhi Administration. C. Prem Shankar Shukla versus Delhi Administration. D. Francis Corelli Mullen versus the Administrator Union Territory of Delhi and others. The correct answer is A. Inhuman conditions in 1382 prisons. Question number 67. The decision in Additional District Magistrate ADM Jabalpur versus Shivkant Shukla has been specifically overruled in B. Justice K. S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. Question number 68. The judgment of Supreme Court in Rattan Lal versus State of Punjab by the application of Clause 1 of Article 20 of the Constitution of India held that the said clause prevents retrospective operation of A. Criminal laws, B. Civil as well as criminal laws, C. Only those civil and criminal laws which provide undue advantage, and D. Only those criminal law which are against the interest of the accused. The correct answer is only those criminal law which are against the interest of the accused. Question number 69. In PUCL versus State of Maharashtra, the Supreme Court has issued 16 guidelines regarding investigation of encounter death. Question number 70. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court has held in strong words that imposing the mother tongue as a medium on instruction violates the fundamental rights? A. English Medium Students Parents Association versus State of Karnataka. B. NEET case. C. Pramati Educational and Cultural Trust versus Union of India. D. Associated Management of Government Recognized Unaided English Medium Primary and Secondary School versus Union of India. The correct answer is D. Associated Management of Government Recognized Unaided English Medium Primary and Secondary School versus Union of India. Question number 71. In which case the Supreme Court upheld the citizens' right to negative voting? In D. PUCL versus Union of India 2013. 72. Jagmohan Singh versus State of UP AR 1973 established that the award of death sentence is not violative of Article 21 of the Constitution. Match the following. List 1. A. Right to live with human dignity enshrined in Article 21 derives breathed from directive principles of state policy under Clause E and F of Article 39, 41 and 42. This was held in the case of Bandhwa Mukti Morcha versus Union of India by Justice Bhagavati. Speedy trial is essential ingredient of the just, fair and reasonable procedure guaranteed by the Article 21. This was held in the case of Husainara Khatun versus State of Bihar by P.N. Bhagavati Justice. In a PIL, a total stranger to a trial cannot be permitted to question the correctness of conviction of the accused. This was held in the case of Simranjit Singh versus Union of India by Justice Ahmadi. In the case of helplessness or disability, any member of the public can maintain an appeal for an appropriate order, direction or writ if there is a violation of constitutional right. This was held in the case of S.P. Gupta versus Union of India by Justice Bhagavati. Question number 76. Match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer using the code given below. Justice K. S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India was right to privacy. Shayara Bano versus Union of India, triple talaq. Navjot Singh Johar, sexual orientation. Joseph Shine versus Union of India, the case relates to adultery. Section 498A of IPC. Question number 77. Match list 1 with the list 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below. Right to go abroad, it was held in Maneka Gandhi's case. Right to livelihood, held in Olga Tellis' case. Right against sexual harassment was held in Vishaka's case, and right to education was held in Mohini Jain's case. Question number 78. Match list 1 with list 2 and give the correct answer using the codes given below. List 1. Compensation to person killed in fake encounter. This was held in the case of PUCL versus Union of India. B. Compensation to rape victims. This was held in Delhi Domestic Working Women's Forum versus Union of India. Interim compensation to rape victims. This was held in Bodhisattva Gautam versus Shubhra Chakravarti. And D. Protection against illegal arrest and detention was held in Joginder Kumar versus State of UP and custodial death. Next question. In which one of the following case the Supreme Court of India decided that there is no fundamental right to education for a professional degree that flows from Article 21? This was held in case A. Balbir Thomas versus Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. B. Hawaii Bijam Rita Devi versus Sikkim Manipal and Technology of Health Science University. C. P. Ravindran versus Union of India. D. Tumanyak etc. versus AIMS. The correct answer here is A. Balbir Thomas versus Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. Question number 80. Match list 1 name of the case with list 2 related subject and give the correct answer using the codes given below. A. K.M. Nanavati versus State of Bombay. Power to pardon. B. Ram Prasad versus State of UP is fundamental duties. Lily Thomas versus Union of India is disqualification of the members. And D. Dr. P. Nalir Thampi Tehra versus Union of India is right to life. Question number 82. In the state of Maharashtra versus Dr. Praful B. Desai 2003, the Supreme Court of India held a right to speedy trial is part and parcel of the right to life under Article 21 of the Constitution. B. It is obligatory on the employer to compute the family pension and offer the same to the widow even without making a claim on her part. C. Where lawyers boycott or are on strike, it is the duty of the court to carry on with court proceedings. D. Recording of evidence through the video conference so long the accused and or his pleader are present while recording is as per procedure established by law and hence valid. The correct answer is D. Recording of evidence through the video conferencing so long as the accused and or his pleader are present while recording is as per procedure established by law and hence valid. Question number 84. In which case the Supreme Court has given preference to constitutional morality over social morality? Answer is A. Navdeep Singh Johar versus Union of India. Question number 85. Vishaka case decision of the Apex Court relates to the subject of sexual harassment of women at workplace. Right to impart and receive information is a species of the right to freedom of speech and expression. This was held in Cricket Association case 1995. Shreya Singhal versus Union of India deals with section 66A of IT Act. Question number 88. The Supreme Court in Selvi and Others versus State of Karnataka held that compulsory administration of narco-analysis techniques amounts to A. Generation of relevant and admissible evidence to prevent crimes effectively. B. Testimonial compulsion and thereby triggers the protection of Article 20 Clause 3 of the Indian Constitution. C. Admissible confession statement under Indian Evidence Act. And D. Violation of rights guaranteed under Article 19 of the Constitution. The correct answer is B. Testimonial compulsion and thereby triggers protection of Article 20 Clause 3 of Indian Constitution. Question number 89. In which case the Supreme Court held that the polygraph test conducted under the compulsion is violative of Article 20 Clause 3 of the Constitution? The answer is A. Selvi versus State of Karnataka 2010. Question number 90. Narco-Analysis polygraph test and brain electrical activation profile test conducted against will of the person subjected to such tests violates his right protected under Article 20 Clause 3 and right under Article 21 of the Constitution of India was held by the Supreme Court in which of the following cases? The correct answer is Selvi versus State of Karnataka. This is a landmark judgment and we have already seen this question repeating many times. Question number 91. Which of the following cases is considered as a blow to the civil liberties in India? The answer is ADM Jabalpur case. Question number 92. The decision in the Additional District Magistrate Jabalpur versus Shivkant Shukla has been overruled and the answer is Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. Question number 93. Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India has been decided by a bench of how many judges? The answer is 9. Question number 94. The Supreme Court of India recognized passive euthanasia and living will in which of the following cases? The answer is C. Common Cause versus Union of India. Question number 95. The Supreme Court of India issued a number of directions for the prevention of women in various forms of prostitution and to rehabilitate their children through various welfare measures so as to provide them with dignity of person, means of livelihood and socio-economic developments. In the case of This was held in the case of B. Gaurav Jain versus Union of India 1997. Next question. In the Hadia case, the Supreme Court held that the right to marry a person of one's own choice is integral to Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Question number 98. As per the Constitution, Khap Panchayats have no authority to order honor killing is held in A. Shanti Vahini versus Union of India. Question number 99. Vincent versus Union of India recognizes dash as a fundamental right, that is right to health as a fundamental right. The Supreme Court in Selvi versus State of Karnataka held that compulsory brain mapping and polygraph tests and narco-analysis were in violation of following articles of the Constitution, Article 20 and 21 of the Constitution. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court held that the word law in the Article 21 does not mean merely an enacted piece of law but must be just, fair and reasonable law. This was held in the case of Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. Question number 102. The 5 judges Constitution bench held that the imparting education cannot be treated as a trade or business. In which of the following cases it was held in A. Unnikrishnan case, in which case the validity of certain police regulations which without any statutory basis authorized the police to keep under surveillance persons whose names were recorded in the history sheet maintained by the police as the person who were or were likely to become habitual criminals was challenged in A. A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras, B. Govind versus State of Uttar Pradesh, C. Unnikrishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh, and D. Kharak Singh versus State of UP 1963. The answer is D. Kharak Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh. Next question. Match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answers using the codes given below. Subject matter and the case laws. Judicial review was held in Keshwananda Bharti versus State of Kerala. Free and fair elections was held in Indira Gandhi versus Rajnarayan 1970. Balance between Part 3 and Part 4 was held in Minerva Mills versus Union of India, and secularism was held in S.R. Bommai versus Union of India. The right to privacy is not an absolute right was held in the following case, that is C. Mr. X versus Hospital Z case. Which of the following is popularly known as phone tapping case? The answer is PUCL versus Union of India. The right to health and medical assistance is a fundamental right held in Permanent Katara versus Union of India. The right to life under Article 21 does not include the right to die. This was held in the case of Gyan Kaur versus State of Punjab. Which of the following is related to Ganga water case? The answer is C. MC Mehta versus Union of India. The right to education up to the age of 14 years is a fundamental right under Article 21 was held in the case of A. Unnikrishnan versus State of Andhra Pradesh. Refusal of bail in murder case without reasonable ground amounts to violation of Article 21 was held in the case of Babu Singh versus State of UP. In which of the following cases is popularly known as handcuffing case? The answer is C. Prem Shankar Shukla versus Delhi administration. Smoking in public place amounts to violation of Article 21 was held in the case of Murli S. Diora versus Union of India. Which of the following case is not related to payment of compensation on violation of Article 21? Buddhadev Karmaskar versus State of West Bengal. Which of the following is popularly known as habeas corpus case? The answer is ADM Jabalpur versus Shivkant Shukla. Which of the following popularly known as Auto Shankar case? The answer is A. R. Rajagopal versus State of Tamil Nadu. In which of the following is called as the case of hawker's right? The answer is Sudhan Singh versus New Delhi Municipal Corporation. In which case the meaning of words personal liberty came up before the Supreme Court is interpreted for the first time. It was interpreted in A.K. Gopalan versus Union of India. The Supreme Court recognized the transgender as third gender in the case of National Legal Services Authority and Others versus Union of India. The first case in which the Supreme Court was called to determine how far the constitution had secured personal liberty to the citizen of India was A.K. Gopalan vs. State of Madras 1950, which judgment held that the right to privacy is protected as an intrinsic part of the right to life and personal liberty under Article 21 and as a part of freedoms guaranteed by Part 3 of the Constitution of India. The answer is D. Justice K. S. Puttaswamy vs. Union of India. The case Vishaka vs. State of Rajasthan relates to sexual harassment at workplace. So we shall wind up the video here, and I hope these questions were helpful.